gonna do it, Jay. I'm gonna do it. You better subscribe. You better like. You better like and subscribe. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. You asked for it. You don't want to subscribe. Subscribe. Not over yet. It's not over yet. Subscribe now. Now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dave and Jay's Power Bomb. You should subscribe and like this video anyways. And we just watched AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite September 2nd, 2020. There's a lot of twos in there. And our first match, we got the boys.
Yeah, we got Santana and Ortiz, and they're going up against best friends. Intentions are running hot after what Santana and Ortiz did to Trent Mom Sue's car, or the van rather, and it was pretty intense. And so there's a lot of heat going in that match. And it was best friends jump Santana and Ortiz right before the bell. Shit got crazy. They're like fighting like 4 minutes before the match even started.
Yeah, it was like sitting there, I'm drinking Pepsi, and I'm like, okay, is the bell even rang yet? Yeah, I'm drinking like, half a liter Pepsi.
Chuck's like building like a fort out of chairs, and then like he gets thrown off the stage into the fort of chairs. Then they decide to ring the bell, so the match starts as like a handicap match pretty much.
Yeah,
and it got pretty crazy. Trent hits that crunchy move where they usually do it to stomp, and he tries to pin Ortiz, but other buddy Santana is able to put Ortiz's hand on the rope to bust up that pin because it would have been over. And then it got crazy because smart. You know, I mean, the boys, they needed a win, right? They're getting wins on Dark, I guess, but this is their first match on Dynamite in a month, and like it would be good for them to get a win. And like there was this thing planted under the ring.
Oh no, man! Do you know what I saw?
What did you see?
I just saw like you know, one of the best friends getting thrown towards ropes, and it looked like he was about to get in danger. So he just held his hand up to prevent him from falling out. And it was probably just enough force to
I heard
knock him out.
Utter some things in his native tongue, puto, I believe I heard. And
he was probably talking about potato chips.
Okay, well then he just gave that buddy a high five when he hit the rope then or something. But that was able to set up for
actually hit him with a nice stick. Dave and Jay's fake news here.
The puto paton. Yeah. And they hit that street sweeper, which is like a combination power bomb, and then the buddy's on the top rope and he does a somersault into a neck breaker, and it's pretty effective. And it was enough to put one of those guys away. The boys, Santana Ortiz, big win, much needed win. I love seeing it.
Inner Circle,
yeah.
Victory.
And then we have words from MJF, and he's all pissed off at Lee Johnson, and then the lawyer is trying to back out of this match, the main event match against Mox tonight, leading into our AEW Mania.
Yeah, I think I got Wardlow to get him like
get in the door.
Kick in the door and like, bitch, I'm gonna cheat you like Jake Roberts.
He pulls out a thing of lipstick.
Yeah, draws on his back. MJF 2020 hashtag
not my champion. It's a lot of lipstick to write all that shit. So then, yeah, and their match is like at the end of the night, and then we go into an 8-man tag match, and there's conditions for All Out leading into this match. So we have SCU and Private Party, and they're going up against the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. And if which team wins, then they get to face each other at the All Out pay-per-view on Saturday.
Yeah,
September
it was like
5th.
a tag team AEW Dynamite versus tag team AEW Dark.
So like the Young Bucks, yeah, they're going up with Dynamite versus Dark tonight. And so the Young Bucks, they're still torn up over kicking Hangman out of the Elite last week. And there's this one fan, and he's a little drunk, and he's like has a sign, like a Hangman Forever sign or whatever, right? And he's drinking. So one of the Jackson guys takes the sign, tears it up, grabs the drink over the head, and then just keeps going. And like JR's like, I've never seen the Young Bucks so focused as they are tonight, but he's like disrespecting fans and shit. It's like, all right.
I don't know about anything that JR really says.
Oh, money and COVID, man. That's the only thing on his mind.
And barbecue sauce.
So then one of the Young Bucks super kicks their own dude, but it doesn't matter because they hit the BTE trigger, that like kind of wind up double V trigger to the side of the head. They get the pin and
nobody gets up from that.
And then so they won their match, and so they get to face off against Jurassic Express at the All Out pay-per-view. So then we have Hager. Oh yeah, Orange Cassidy's chilling, and then Hager is in the back, and then he walks up and he's like, Jericho wants you ringside, you better do it, or
You better comply, or else we're going to
You're not on TV this week.
squeeze some orange juice or something, yeah, or else you go back to dark.
Oh, no one wants to live there. Ask the librarian, guys, or the initiative.
Yeah, it broke up.
So then we have words from Tully and FTR, and I don't even know what they're talking about. They're like, we got matching jackets, we're ready to do this, so screw some guys over. I have no clue. So I'm sure I'll have a picture of them in matching jackets.
I think we just talked through that.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
So then we got a big interview, which I was looking forward to. They said this at the beginning of the show. We got Tony Schiavone's got an exclusive interview of Kenny Omega, and this is the interview, and he calls FTR cockroaches, and he's talking about the whole thing going on with Hangman, him being kicked out of the Elite,
Getting in his head.
how's that going to affect their performance leading into the All Out pay-per-view, where I guess they're facing FTR for the championships, the tag team championships, and FTR of course interrupts, and they bring a beer cooler, and they offer Kenny a pint of chalk, which I guess in America is what they call milk or something, pasteurized, I believe the description of it was. And FTR, Kenny Omega's not having it. He calls them dickheads, and justifiably so.
We don't need you. When you people going to subscribe more?
So then Tully wanders his old ass out there, and Kenny says that he can smell Tully's depends from here. He knew Tully was sneaking up on him. He's like, what is this, a 2-on-1? Let's just get it over. Oh, and then he starts laughing. It's a 3-on-1? I can smell your depends from here, Tully.
Yeah, Kenny going all psycho, doing what Kenny does best.
Then Hangman arrives and tries to break it up, doesn't he? And then they just all end up calling each other pieces of shit. It's like, you're a piece of shit, and you're a piece of shit.
And it really is true, except Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I like Kenny, right? But they didn't try to kill Kenny this week, or maybe they did. No, they didn't. It didn't be a brawl. They were just calling each other pieces of shit.
Yeah, boss.
So then we have words from Jericho in the back, and he's talking about the upcoming Mimosa Mayhem match, and he's saying that he made Orange Cassidy a main event star, but now he has to put a bullet in his head.
Yeah, he's got to put that dog down.
Yeah, just like old Yeller. Take him to the back. Yeah. So then this leads into Le Champion's tune-up match against Joey Janela. And the Judas Singalong's in full effect. We have more people in at Daly's place right now, which is really comforting to see. Jay and I are thinking of getting a block of 10 tickets and living large and going up there for one of these shows. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, with the viewership we have and the non-YouTube money, sleeping under the underpass.
We'll figure it out.
Or is that overpass? Overpass.
So Jericho's
like some homeless guys like FTR.
Oh man. Oh, I hate those guys.
I'm gonna bump into Moxley too.
So Jericho's got Hager with him, and Orange Cassidy is ringside as per Jericho's request. And there's mind games because Jericho's wearing an Orange Cassidy t-shirt, right? So there's some head games going on there. And then I don't know, this is pretty much a squash match. Janela, he got some offense in a little bit perhaps, but there was a super code breaker at the end. Janela goes for some springboard off the top rope, and Jericho catches him in the code breaker, right? And it's sick.
Looked really, as Dave would say, it looked sick. Sick.
And then that led into the Liontamer submission move, which everyone knows so well if you know anything about wrestling. And that was a Janela, but he didn't even tap. He was unconscious. He didn't tap. He was unconscious.
Yeah, he just kind of shook his head a little bit. And like, he's KO'd.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah.
So Jericho,
thanks for coming out, Janela.
Adds to his winning ways, and then he exposes the turnbuckle after the match because he's not done yet. He's got to send a message to Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
right?
but we have to be Vince, so somebody's got to bleed tonight.
And it was Janela. Janela was that sacrificial lamb.
Sacrifice.
He bled good.
Yeah.
Cody probably slipped in that extra 500 or whatever it goes under the dressing room door. If he gets his own dressing room, probably not. And then Jericho went full Hogan. He tore off the t-shirt, and like he had the Orange Cassidy t-shirt on, and he was smearing Janela's blood on the t-shirt, and it was a good shot of that, and it was really fun to see. But then Orange Cassidy, he had enough, so he's running in, but he takes the beats because Hagar's there, right? He's got our boys back with Champion.
Yeah.
But then Sonny Kiss runs in. He was conspicuous by his absence, but Sonny Kiss had enough. He runs in, but then and then like they're like going back and forth, and it's just Jericho and Cassidy left in the ring. Jericho's on the ropes a bit because he got jumped by Sonny, and some other dude. Then Cassidy's going for the Superman punch, but Hager's able to usher Jericho to safety.
Yeah, bring the boys.
Yeah.
The boys being boys, making sure the boys are safe.
And Cassidy's got this mystery backpacker sack with him the whole time too, and he opens the sack, and it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head in there. It's a bottle of a little bit of the bubbly.
I thought it was Jake Roberts' snake.
And he pours it out to symbolize the end of Le Champion's reign at All Out, which I completely disagree with.
Never gonna happen
for life.
Champion, Demogod for life.
Yeah, Demogod. And then what do we got up here? Oh yeah, so Sammy's doing the picture-in-picture at the cards as Matt Hardy stares at him intently like a psycho freak. And then Matt Hardy has some cards of his own. And this is going to lead into a Broken Rules match at AEW All Out. Sammy Guevara, Spanish Sex God, versus Broken Matt Hardy. And if Matt Hardy loses, he has to leave AEW.
You know what? I've been hearing about this damn pay-per-view for 3 goddamn weeks, 3 times a friggin' week, because I watch all the AEW stuff. And it's coming, and then we'll see it probably.
Matt Hardy's gonna lose, but then he'll come back because it'll be like, oh, I was scumbag Matt Hardy version 2 win this match, so now I'm big money Matt Hardy, so you didn't make that guy quit. They'll have to have like 12 different matches to kill each personality.
Yeah, it'll be called the Vince Dozen Destruction.
Yeah, until Matt Hardy's contract expires. So then what do we have? We got Team Tazz is coming in trying to talk some shit, and then they're interrupted by Team Murderhawk,
and then they're interrupted by
Team Kingston,
and then they're interrupted by
Team Tully with Shawn Spears, and then Billy Gunn somehow weasels himself in there,
and then all hell breaks loose.
They're brawling, and then Darby comes in. He's going for Ricky Starks, and this is like a preview of the Casino Battle Royal,
which was kind of awesome. But it was also kind of like, you know, it was this giant thing of filler they could have done with more, you know, somebody awesome.
Which the Inner Circle boys came in too, and Best Friends, so they're probably all going to be involved in this Casino Battle Royal. I believe the winner gets an AEW championship opportunity if they win this against MJF, hopefully.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, and then so then we have a preview for a match coming up at the pay-per-view on September 5th. It's Scorpio Sky and Zack Ryder of the Natural Nightmares, and they're going to be going up against 4 members of the Dark Order. Revenge for Cody. That's what I'm feeling this.
Whatever. We know who's going to win this. You know, I hate to say, but your fraternity is slowly just kind of going down. Like eventually,
Cody's been gone for 2 weeks now since that beatdown, right? So
yeah, eventually Dean Brody Lee is going to shut down the frat house, nightmare house down.
He's gonna try to evict us like in that old school movie.
Damn right.
It's never gonna happen. Frat house for life.
Huge Nightmare Family fan over here.
Oh man, I'm living in the frat house 24/7 with the rest of those psychos, man.
And I work for Brody Lee.
We can't even be seen on camera together.
No,
Cody's gonna be
this is actually green screen.
If that were true. All right, so then we have women's NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa, who hails from the graveyards of Tijuana, and she's facing some girl we've never seen before, Serena Dead.
Yeah, you just like what you say, but you know what? We were saying, I'm like, okay, this is a champion. We don't know who this girl is or anything like that.
To shine.
It should have been just a squash match to show how vicious and badass this girl is.
Anything but.
Did we get that? No, we got like...
Went 2 commercial breaks. It was hard for Thunder Rosa to put Serena Deeb away.
How is she
it wasn't that
deal
impressive.
With Sheeta? Sheeta's bigger.
She's not gonna. Sheeta's a bigger, powerful woman. It should have been Thunder Rosa, squash this bitch, and then like bad news for Sheeta coming up on Saturday, but I don't know, Thunder Rosa didn't impress me or Jay tonight, that's for sure.
No, we've seen Sheeta squish.
Yeah, so then Thunder Rosa has this move, Thunder Driver, whatever. She pins this bitch.
1, 2, 3. It took you way too goddamn long.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. Okay, I'm sorry I'm calling women the B word, but it wasn't an impressive match. So then we have words from Mox. He's like backstage or something. I don't know what he's doing. But then, this is a big segment of the night. We got words from Big Swole. And then Tony's talking to her, and then she gets interrupted by a pizza delivery. Big Swole got a little hungry and ordered a pizza and forgot about it, I guess, right?
Yeah, and then what happened? We had the second greatest return of 2020.
We have
the return of Dr. M.D. Britt Baker.
Oh yeah,
DMD,
she's back. She's gonna be ready for Saturday's pay-per-view. She comes in there from behind to crutch beatings, teach Big Swole a lesson.
Yes, and
yeah,
I was
Brit
literally jumping up and down on my couch.
The
Like,
pizza in the face. I loved it. I loved it.
So
Right,
good,
big moment for women's wrestling for sure.
It was just a big moment for
And
AEW, man.
she locks in that lockjaw maneuver, and they're calling it Saturday's match between the two of them, a tooth and nail match. You heard it here first, guys. Tooth and nail match. Big Swole versus Dr. Britt Baker, Saturday, September 5th.
You know what else you heard here first? You should subscribe. That injuries happen.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe.
It's starting to sound pathetic now, Dave. Keep going.
Well, speaking of pathetic, tonight's main event, we
Oh
have
my God.
MJF's lawyer, Mark Sterling, versus Jon Moxley. And yeah, this wasn't very fair to real wrestlers. For the final main event leading into the pay-per-view, they got some jobber fake lawyer that we don't even know about. And yeah, so Moxley's there, and Sterling comes down with Wardlow. This is a joke match. The lawyer's able to hit an eye poke on Moxley, and they're like, oh yeah, Moxley has a history of eye problems.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing really noteworthy. We have a paradigm shift. The lawyer sold it well. Pin. Win goes to Mox. That was a mosquito.
Yeah.
But the real fun took place after the match.
Yeah, like the good old chaos and hell broke loose.
Yeah, Wardlow gets in there, and he hits 2 of the F10s on Jon Moxley, where he flips the guy like a pizza pie. It's sick.
Yeah.
And then it's a miracle. MJF is healed.
He is healed. It's the second miracle. 2 miracles tonight.
Miracle on 32nd Street. I tell you what, Miracle at Daly's Place. Maybe that's what tonight's episode would be called, the Miracle at Daly's Place. But I mean, it was sick, yeah. And the beatdown was amazing. And I think we're gonna have a new champion on September 5th in Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yep. Moxie bled for us tonight.
Yeah.
Took the old dynamite ring.
The Dynamite Diamond Ring. That's right.
Like,
Busted open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just catch
He's
up
good for
and stuff.
something. He can bleed, and I think we should just leave it at that. So MJF for President 2020, not my champion. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, 100 likes. I become a Moxley fan.
No.